people of the world. It's currently quite early, so I'm trying to keep it as quiet as possible. Right now it's time to sort out some breakfast. After breakfast I went looking for some foxes. Here, foxy, foxy, foxy. But it was no more successful than yesterday, unfortunately. But now it's time for today's plan. Right now I'm in Blackheath Glen Reserve, or I guess a couple kilometres away on the fox hunt. But the plan for now is to head back to the car and then head north into Blackheath itself, and there's a couple spots in there that I want to see. From there we'll continue on the Great Western Highway until we get to Mount Victoria, where it's closed, and try to find a campsite around there. I think from there we'll be forced to head north, but that's a problem for this afternoon. Goodbye Blackheath Glen Reserve, my first actual campsite, and a beautiful one at that, so can't complain at all. Time to head into Blackheath. Alright, just parked up at Centennial Glen, and now I'm going to walk up onto the grotto. It shouldn't be a long walk, and it's supposed to be incredibly beautiful. I don't know whether you can hear a lot of construction going on. And also there's a couple cars here already, so it might be a little bit busy, but hopefully not. I mean, it's like 9 o'clock, so I guess I'm a bit late. Anyway, I'm off. I'm not even at the place yet, but I'm just walking along this beautiful little path. And the whole way along, up the side, you've just got this incredible view. Whoa. I mean, how can you not be impressed by that? Makes the world look so simple when you see it like this. You know? Everything's so calm. I'm at another crossroads. I have no idea which way I'm supposed to be going. Off that way is like the direction I'm supposed to be going, but also I think that's just an exit. And this way is down, but it seems to also go that way. And I'm thinking I probably need to be further down, so this may be me going the wrong way again, but it is what it is. Every time I do that, I feel like I'm playing Minecraft. I don't know why Minecraft is on my mind so much today, but anyway, the canyon was stunning. There's nothing else to say about it, really. On the way back up, I saw the sky peeking through the trees, and it was so blue that I thought there was something there, like a tent or something. But then when I kept walking, I realised it was the sky. Just crazy. I also ended up spending probably an hour just sitting on a rock that I stopped at on the way down, just looking out on the view. And there were some people who walked past and just didn't even notice and kept walking, but the view was still there. And it was beautiful. I guess that's life. I said it before, how could you be sad looking at a view like that? That is insane. The plan for now is to go to the Blackheath Information Centre and see if they have anything there. Bang! We're here. A bit quicker than you thought, probably. On your left, as you walked into the information centre, there was a gallery and a theatre. The gallery had all these different Aboriginal artworks. On the theatre, there was a video playing about the glowworm tunnel. What I can tell, they hired a bunch of full-time smart people to figure out what the worms needed, and then they had all of the construction done according to that. So that meant hand tools, red light, and continuously trying to avoid any sediment flowing into the stream that was flowing right next to them, because that was where the glowworms got their sustenance from. Just mind-boggling. On the right side, there was more information about the Blue Mountains heritage, about the first European settlers to travel over to this area. Really makes you think. I mean, I thought it was hard for me walking along the tracks with no signal while having an SOS beacon, but they went out on 14-day expeditions to discover 200 metres worth of new territory with no way to tell where they were or anything. Makes you wonder how the indigenous people that lived here for thousands of years survived off the lands. It's just lost skills. There was one photo in there in particular that caught my eye, so I asked the guy where it was and he said it's Pulpit Rock, but unfortunately that's closed at the moment because of fires 5 years ago. But he said that Anvil Rock's a little bit further down the road and it's actually much more beautiful. So that's where I am now. Well, actually I stopped off at Govet's Leap Lookout beforehand to look at that, and that was also insane. There was this waterfall that had a rainbow running all the way down it that was just shimmering as you looked at it, and the trees just spread out across the whole mountainscape. It's just unbelievable. I was looking at it and just imagining living down there. Just a quiet little life down in the forest. On an unrelated note, this is the first time in my life that I ever thought if I was put in the Hunger Games right now, I wouldn't win. So take from that what you want. Oh, also the drive over to Anvil Rock that I just did, incredible. I was driving so slowly that one of the cars actually just drove around me in this tiny little, basically one-lane road. But no regrets. Incredible spot. And now I'm going to go look at the rock, so let's go see what it's like. Not a word. Unless I'm completely mistaken, I'm sure that all of this would have been formed by water passing through here hundreds of millions of years ago and just carving the stones into shape. I mean, just try to imagine that while you're looking at it. It's absurd. The scale of the whole thing is ridiculous. It's weird to think that I live so close to all of this without even knowing that it's here. Like, it's just immense beauty. And there's something about this spot not being the actual lookout. The actual lookout's just up there and it's fenced off and everything. But this is just a rock on the side of a cliff. And it gives you such a raw view of the whole thing. I could stand here staring at it for the full 100 days. Well, the guy was definitely right. This is a spot and a half. I was contemplating going back to the car after doing the Anvil Rock, but I decided to do the other lookout that's here. And just, dude, look at this. I think it's called the Wind Eroded Rock Lookout. I mean, it's a fitting name. That might be the most beautiful thing I've seen in my entire life. I was just sat there, just looking at it like, what even in the world? Like, it's actually just, I can't even compare it to anything. It's incredible. And yeah, as I said, thinking about the water flowing through it, like, I don't even know whether that's a true fact, but damn. The plan from now is to head to Mount Boyce, which is pretty close to here, and then head on from there to a campsite in the Mount Victoria area. So, Mount Boyce. Psych! I couldn't actually get to Mount Boyce. I couldn't figure out how you actually drive to get there, and I was kind of like, Seebs, let's find a campsite instead. So I've just been looking through my phone. I found a campsite, and bang, arrived at the campsite. It is absurdly busy. I was driving up the road thinking, maybe I'm actually not allowed to camp here. It's not really looking like somewhere you can camp. And then I went round a corner and there's just a billion cars and a billion vans. Like, everybody and their mum is here taking in I don't even know what. But no, it's a chill spot. I'll give you a little tour around. But this might be the first night where I can actually set up the awning and the table and everything else and just chill there, because I've got time and a little bit of space, and there's no table for me to use. So I'm going to have to. That's fine. A little tour around. Here's the car, looking as good as ever. All down the road it's just absolutely packed with campers and cars and tents and everything. I didn't take too much footage of them because I didn't want to, invade on their privacy. But yeah, everywhere you look it's just more and more tents, which is incredible. More and more people exploring. I walked a bit further down the road and now here I am at another just incredible view. I mean, yeah, just incredible. I think I'll chill here for a little bit, then on the way in I saw a sign for some historical wells, which I'll go and have a look for as well. That could be cool. I wonder if you can hear that. I'm assuming it's birds, but they actually sound like roosters. The way they're crowing. Historical wells. There's one here and one right behind you, and a sign that says the history of these two wells is uncertain, but it was probably used for the construction of Cox's Descent, which is just down that way. I was actually just starting to lose hope right when I found a sign that said historical wells this way. I don't know about you, but when I saw a sign saying that there was wells, I was thinking of like an oldie worldy well that's in the middle of a town, not just two holes filled with water. But anyway, should I have a drink? Probably not. Here's the other well. Could you tell the difference? Yeah, I didn't think so. On an unrelated note, when I was at one of the lookouts earlier, a guy offered to give me a photo. Or a guy offered to take a photo for me. And I said no. And he said, oh, that's probably good. One time someone asked me to take a video of them for their engagement, but I accidentally took photos. Yeah, after that we kind of tried to disappear as fast as we could. What a great story. Imagine that was your engagement. How funny would that be? I mean, I guess that's your own fault for probably not planning who was going to be taking a photo and just asking a random guy, but that's incredible. Anyway, I just thought that was a story worth telling. So it's currently about 3:10, but the plan for tonight is actually quite big. I've got an important coin flip to make. From here on, the Great Western Highway is closed, so I have to go a different way, which will be north up Darling Causeway. But when I get to the top, I can either go inland, which will take me up past Wallamai, up to Capertee, and then eventually back out to the coast towards Newcastle, or I could go towards the coast straight away at the top of Darling Causeway, and then that would take me towards Jervis Bay kind of area. So I'm going to have to do a coin flip for that when I get back to the car. But literally while I was saying that story, I was just walking down, I've just found this incredible rock that's just a lookout over the edge. Look at this. I'm going to go sit down there. I'm back, and this time it's to watch the sunset. I brought some food with me, and this time I'm just going to sit, chill, eat, watch the sun go down. One time when I was up late watching YouTube, I got recommended this video, and it was this guy with this really calm voice building a town on this simulated game. And that's exactly what this town reminds me of. I don't know why, it just seems so calm and peaceful. And the vibes that he had and the vibes that it has here, that's what it feels like. That or it reminds me of Rain Day Antiques. But I'm sure not many people know what that is. It's the only sleepcast I ever listened to. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the sunset as much as I did. What a crazy day. I said that the days were getting calmer, and it was a calm day, but I just don't know how I fitted so much beauty into one day. Time to head back to the car, I guess. Alright, I'm back at the car, which means it's finally time for this long-awaited coin flip. For the coin, I've got this 5 of I don't even know what. I'm going to assume that it's Turkish because of the moon and star on the back. But otherwise, I don't even know. But anyway, we'll say the number side is west, and the moon and star is east. Number, west, moon and star, east. I did that too slowly. Sorry, I'll do that again. I did that too slowly. I looked at it before. There you go. Number. I've forgotten what that means. Hold on, I'm going to have to rewatch the footage. After careful review, I've decided that the 5 meant that we were going west. West, that way for you guys. Which means, yeah, up the link. Not quite sure where exactly that means yet, but hopefully something fun. If you watched through today's video, you know that the scenery leveled up today. 76 photos and 3 of the most majestic spots I've seen in my entire life. The day started at Centennial Glen with a view that most people were walking by and not even looking at. A little town peeking through the trees from a viewpoint on top of a rock. Simple but elegant. On another day, this may well have been the photo of the day, but we kept leveling up. Anvil Rock. That was quite a pivotal moment for me, actually. It was kind of a moment in the trip where I realized, oh, hang on, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I want to be traveling around rather than working or learning or anything else. This is the reason I want to see things like this. And it kind of reminded me that this 100 days will be incredible. And again, it's not the photo of the day. After Anvil Rock, we moved on to Mount York. From what I thought wasn't even really a campsite to not only an incredible campsite, but an incredible lookout, which somehow most people missed. And the first sunset of the trip that came with it. I just got an incredible time lapse of the sunset, and I completely forgot to take a photo right until the sun had already set. But with the glow of the sun just over the horizon, it makes it look even more beautiful. And yet that's still not the photo of the day. The photo of the day was much earlier on, back in Centennial Glen. For some reason, all day, all I could think about was Minecraft, and I think that will be reflected in the video, but I was just feeling nostalgic, and the Centennial Glen Grotto was one of the places that made me feel like it the most. Don't ask me why. It was a pretty simple spot, you know, just a log in a pool under a waterfall. But it was so calm. You could hear the water bouncing off the caves around you, and you just had that shaded but beautiful view with the sun peeking through where the water was coming from. And all I could hear in my head was the old Xbox 360 Minecraft music. And that's how this photo got its name. Number 3, C418. Bearing in mind just how many photos this one took over from today alone, I feel hard pressed not putting it in number 1. But I just love the pool at the edge of infinity as a story and as a photo. So I'm gonna have to put this at number 2.